Sometimes real life is pretty and sometimes it's not. We're a family of 6 who lives right in the middle of Washington State. We've put a lot of work into making a beautiful home in this sort of, I guess, traditional cottage style, and we've been sharing it with you here for years on the channel. But there comes a point where the real life demands of our family sort of butt up against this cottage aesthetic that we've worked on curating around our home, and in our gardens. So if you've been around our channel for a while, you may even remember when we put in our beautiful little pond here. And it's a place that our children really delighted in. And when they were teeny tiny, they could cool off in the heat of summer by jumping and spending time in the pond. They are much bigger now, and there's absolutely no way they could swim in the pond in the same way. So for the last couple of years, Stuart and I have been thinking about a way that we could incorporate something that maybe otherwise aesthetically wouldn't fit in our little cottage, which is an above ground pool. Now, how can we make something that's plastic, that doesn't look like it just grew up out of the ground here? How do we make that work? How do we make that fit into the cottage? I don't fully know the answer yet, and we're going to figure it out because we've decided to go ahead and meet the needs of our family in this hot summer by putting the above ground pool in finally. And we're gonna find a way to make it work. The truth is, there are times when cultivating the beautiful life looks a little bit less like creating this Instagram perfect aesthetic and more about actually meeting the needs of your family. And so that's what we're going to attempt to do with this pool project.
One of the first problems that we had to overcome with this project was creating a level enough piece of ground for the pool, and we did the very best that we could. There's not a flat piece of land on our property, so of course the project instantly got bigger than we imagined that it would. In the 22-foot span of the pool, the ground dropped off about 5 feet, which meant not only did we need to create a level ground as best as we could, but we were also going to have to build a small retaining wall. And this sort of instantly changed the project right out of the gate. But we were up for the challenge, knowing that the benefits of having the pool were going to outweigh the really, really difficult work on these really, really hot days. Luckily, because there was a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the kids were willing to help, although I will admit Stu had to kind of bear the brunt of this project.
I'd like to thank EarthBreeze for sponsoring today's video, which is very dirty. Stu's gonna have filthy laundry by the time he's done and very sticky here in the kitchen. Typical laundry detergent is a terrible offender when it comes to unnecessary and harsh chemicals in our homes. Some of these chemicals, like optical brighteners, literally stick to your clothes like glue, and then you wear those against your skin all day long. If you're looking for a powerful clean without harsh chemicals, try EarthBreeze. It's easy to switch, and if you're not completely satisfied, they have an amazing money-back guarantee. EarthBreeze sheets are free from harsh chemicals like brighteners, dyes, parabens, and preservatives, and they dissolve easily into your washing machine. Right now, you can try EarthBreeze for up to 40% off, plus 4 free gifts by visiting earthbreeze.com/Elliott. I'm gonna put a link right below the videos and in the comments as well. There's always going to be laundry to do, but I assure you that EarthBreeze makes it that much more enjoyable. So we obviously spend a ton of time outside in the summer, working in the gardens, moving sheep, moving waters, tending to things here. The problem is where we live, it gets really, really hot. And even though over the years we have found creative ways to cool off in the sprinkler, coordinating trips to friends' pools, going to the river, this all takes some amount of coordination. And so the idea was to give the family a place to sort of circle around, a place to relax. We've always been a little bit better maybe on the work end of things, especially in the summertime when there's a lot to do, than on the play side of things. So we sort of wanted to go about this project like, if we create it, they will come. And if we bring it here, which is the first step, then we will find a way, because it's meeting our family's needs for the season, to make it fit in, to make it beautiful.
The ground where the pool was going was incredibly soft, which meant that we needed to bring in, I don't even know what this machine is called, a stamper, tromper, a romper? I don't know, but this was a day where unfortunately Stuart had to labor outside all on his own, doing his very best to compact this incredibly powdery and soft dirt. Long before we moved in, the area surrounding our little cottage was apricot orchards, and often what's left over after orchards is this really soft, powdery dirt. So he went back and forth, and we were just crossing our fingers that it was going to be enough to bear the weight of the pool. But aesthetically speaking, you'll notice that we decided to edge the pool and kind of create a small retaining wall with some rocks so that it would match some of our other flower beds. The corrugated tin that you see here is going to be a retaining wall that's not really seen once the pool goes in, and so that could be ugly. We'll cut the 4x4 posts off once we sort of figure out exactly how this wall is going to end, and whatever's going to take its place is going to begin. In order to make the pool feel like it fit just a little bit more, we chose what's called a basket weave design on the outside. So even though you get that strong pool blue on the inside, the outside feels like it fits a little bit more aesthetically with what we have going on here. So all in all, yes, it looks like an above ground pool, but I actually love the way it ended up being sort of dug in and built into the hillside. And now I'm starting to get some ideas with maybe where we could go with this in a different direction than what we had originally thought. It didn't take long of getting the pool in before we realized just how much we would use it.
Where are you?
Right here.
That was weird. I can see you. Come on.
Now that the pool is filled up and where it's going to be, I think Stuart and I are both really beginning to see a vision of how this could incorporate into the cottage quite a bit better.
How you feeling about the pool, honey?
I'm actually feeling pretty good. You know, I was a little skeptical at first about the idea of a pool, but it gets so hot here, and in the middle of the summer heat, it's nice to take a break from working on the property or even lesson planning through the summer.
Yeah.
To enjoy a refreshing pool.
Yeah. It's
But-
like a way to charge your battery.
Yeah, it is recharging, yes, but it comes with a lot of extra work and planning, doesn't it? So while I'm taking a break from lesson planning, I'm gonna figure out how to put a deck in.
Yeah?
I like to call these Elliott Specials.
Don't look too close.
Exactly. And you always, in an Elliott Special, it's always kind of figuring it out as you go along.
Well, when we kind of thought about this project, we didn't really think about putting a deck in, nor
Nope.
did we think about putting a deck here. But now that the pool is actually in, the way it kind of sits against the land, I think it makes the most sense.
It does, yeah. Originally I thought we should put something down here on the low part, but it makes way more sense to put something up here. So a friend of mine took his deck down, so I was able to salvage a bunch of the framing. Now we're gonna use that to put a deck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it'll kind of help the pool to feel more like it was made to be here,
Yeah.
even though it sticks out a little bit in the cottage.
Yes, I think this is going to help. I think it will. It
Okay.
takes a little bit of time to
Yeah.
put all the touches on it. And like with most projects, it's got to get a little worse before it gets any better.
Sure.
But the thing I like about this one, unlike many other projects, is that while we're working on it, you can actually enjoy
It's true.
the main thing.
That's true.
So
You're picturing the deck kind of wrapping basically what, a third of the way around the pool,
yeah,
right?
just as it goes right now.
Okay.
You know, our land slopes up, and so it makes sense to do sort of a platform here that's a little bit lower.
Yep.
And we'll probably mount the ladder to get into the pool right here.
Yep.
And then another step up, and the rest of it will be the same level after that.
Okay.
And it'll be where we'll have some chairs and hopefully an umbrella and a place to, you know, relax,
Okay.
watch the kids.
We'll probably need some lights, some strung lights
Yeah,
in and around, over and around rather.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the landscaping?
I think, we put in some willows on the back side of the pool. And so I think as we come back around, you know, this used to be the area where we had a beautiful tree. We called it the Tree of Life. And sadly, we had to cut it down because it got fire blight. And with the orchards around here, you can't risk a tree with disease because it could potentially infect all the other trees. So we had to cut it down, and it was a sad day. Our kids cried, and it left a big, giant hole in our property. So now they call this the Pool of Life.
I
and
love
I'm
that.
hoping it will bring more life to this area, but for the longest time after that tree was cut down, we weren't quite sure what to do with it. So I think we should bring more life by adding more garden space as well.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what happens when you start adding and bringing to life some of the ideas as you start to kind of figure out what needs to happen after that. So it just makes sense to put the deck up here. It makes sense to put a little bit of a garden on that side, to let the willows grow in, and you
Yeah.
can kind of see where things could possibly go. Whereas before, with such an empty hole, it may have been harder to see. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Piece by piece. Sometimes if you just wait, things will tell you what needs to happen,
that's right.
you know?
Little by little. What's the
Little by
saying?
little, piano-y piano.
Piano-y piano.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And like you said, the great part about this work is that you can take a dip
That's right.
partway through.
That's right.
Okay,
Story continues.
the story continues. Nicely done.